And not to discuss about elections, Liberia's elections, the candidates. We have few more days to the all expected 2023 presidential and legislative elections. And today we have two personalities that have joined us and they will introduce themselves. But what is the problems? What are the problems and prospect for this coming elections? Is all set? Do we have the election commission? Is the election commission prepared to conduct a free, fair, and transparent elections? There have been some issues, and our discussants will definitely touch on some of these issues. The concern about whether there are ballot papers printed, whether there are voters' roll printed and distributed, the presidential candidates, whether everything is set into motion or whether there are problems. So our guest will be able to tell us the problems and the prospect as to whether or not there will be a free, fair elections in Liberia. Today is what? Today is the 30th day of September, the last day of September. That means we have about 10 days. Let's say nine days, and the 10th day will be elections. The Election Commission, are they providing voters education? In fact, with the bad roads in the country, the president gets jet now to fly all around the place and campaign. But how are they going to take the ballot papers around the ballot boxes to the rural part of Liberia? If the president cannot ride his car to go to Maryland, son of Grand G, the River G. So how do the Election Commission get the voting materials to those part of the country? Because the president should set the example. But he's flying. We are hearing that he has brought jet. Is it jet or helicopter?
Helicopter.
Okay, so our guest will tell more on those things. So be our guest, share the video, and also make a comment. We'll be glad to hear from you. Just to welcome to a Radio once again.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Jensen. Glad to be here with you guys this morning.
Who is my guest to? Who are you?
I'm a former guest. I was once a presidential aspirant for the Republic of Liberia, withdrew from the race March. So I am now have thrown my support behind Joseph Nima Boyka, former vice president, to be hopefully with the help of the Liberian people, all of us voting to make sure Joseph Boyka is the next president of Liberia.
Okay, but this is not Joseph Boyka show, and we'll come to that. Abraham, how are you?
Yeah, how are you? Actually, my Abraham is my middle name, but my name is Blokanibo.
Okay, can you introduce yourself? Furthermore, before you introduce yourself, can you go up a little bit because your face we're seeing here from the team. Very very well, very good, very good.
Can you see me
good.
now?
Yeah, you're good. So who?
Okay, my name is
Blokanibo?
My name is Blokanibo. I was born in the Republic of Liberia. Before I came to the United States, I work at the Capitol Building. Working for the Ministry of Information, but assigned to the Capitol Building in Monrovia. I work for the Liberian News Agency. Before it was through the Capitol Building that I came to the United States, and I've been here ever since, in 1982.
Wow, you've been here for a long time.
Right.
But you guys are welcome. This is the African Actions Network, and we want to start the ball rolling. Firstly, let me ask the two of you, what is your perspective about Liberia and the planned elections? Just a summary. What do you people think about Liberia and the elections? Your perspective. Let's start with Majestu.
Well, my perspective of Liberia is I see opportunity. I see hope in the young people. I see that we are resilient. I see that We have nowhere else but to go up, but the opportunity is on us, on who we elect this election. The election is going to have some issues, but as long as we are not violent, no violence occurs, I think it would be in the best interest of the country to make sure no violence occur during this election.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Cannibal,
Yes, sir.
just in
Yes, sir.
summary, what is the perspective? How do you see Liberia, the elections? How do you see Liberia now? From your view, from where you sit, all the TV hearing, why do you see Liberia now?
Well, brother, one of the things that I can say here is the fact that uh, the point my brother just made, I think we are all optimistic of what's going to happen in Liberia. We want to see change take place in the country. If you go back, if you digress a little bit and look at the history of Liberia briefly, as it relates to the destruction that was caused there by Taylor and the other forces that destroy Liberia to where it is right now, you will find out that that happened in the name of trying to fix Liberia and making Liberia to be a better country. But the question I ask many Liberian people is our people going to die for nothing? Because they don't leave no room for ambiguity, more especially as it relates to how Liberia can improve and how Liberia can be better for the younger generations of our country. Right now, uh, I'm very downhearted because I have no faith in the electoral process as I look at it to be, because in short, you will find out that up to now they have not been able to furnish the different documentation as it relates to the election with the various political parties to see how many people register in the various counties to see what the roster look like. So it gave me a low problem understanding how this election gonna go, because I'm a student of history, and uh, they got it called Emmett Hammer. You remember the 1985 election that was rigged by Samuel Doe.
Right, right. Okay, so we will come deep into your concerns, but let's look at Liberia. And the reason I ask this question is the mansion that is behind me, the photo of the mansion behind me, is where many Liberians want to sit to be president. Everybody, for some reason, do have their own perspective as to how they see the country. And many will agree that the country is now what we expect it to be, or we expected it to be. Because of that issue, and for the WEA's administration, many persons will either agree that WEA has done well and so he must be re-elected, or WEA has failed and that he must be booted out. That decision is for the people of Liberia. So we have several persons in the race. I will ask you, what do you think about a crowded field? Will it bring about the needed result? We have so many persons. I don't know how many persons are there, but there are so many persons
20,
want to be president. You say what, 12, right?
20, 20.
20, right. So is it the best way to get solving the problem of Liberia? Why couldn't these people, put their forces together? Now there are problems with the election commission, like you all are pointing out, and we'll go into that to understand what the election commission is doing relative to the voters' role, because the voter role is not out of this time. What do we expect? If the polling places are not prepared, are not numerous, and people are not even educated yet, is it only on election day that people are going to be found, okay, my polling place is this place or that? So these are the issues. But Majesto, let's look at your view on the body politics. The Liberia's election is like Cannibal said, the Emmett Hammer situation is not a good example to reference, because the result was announced and there were disagreement that brought about the civil crisis, so to speak. How do you think the election commission, the chairperson and the commissioners, at this stage, can we say with certainty that they will conduct elections free, fair, and transparent? Or do you think there are problems, even though it may be late, but do you think there are problems with any of those persons? Because if you're not satisfied with Director Brown, it is late. She is the chairperson of the Election Commission. But yeah, we can point out the problems. How do you see the commissioners? Can we say for certainty these people can conduct elections without a problem and announce results without a problem? Do you have confidence in them?
Well, since I'm not to insult you guys' age, I'm the youngest person on this panel right now. I would say, but Mr. Abraham, speaking of history, I want to a little bit of slight at you guys that the problem that we are having now, my opinion of my generation, that you guys created that problem. 1980, April 12, 1980. That led us to 1985, to 1989, and to where we are right now. The Constitution that was rewritten in 1986 gave the president of Liberia imperial power to appoint a whole bunch of people, to be the one to appoint people without checks and balance. So the problem we have now is the way you guys accepted from 1980 for the killing of President William Howard Tubman to where we are right now. So where we are right now, we have to deal with what we have right now. The commissioner that we have, or the commissioners that we have right now, we have to live with that. But I'm on record to have said for the past year that instead of people coming in the street and demonstrating, they need to go into courts and file rights and brief to make sure that it's documented. I'm glad that the standard bearer I'm supporting, his party, are doing that. I was mad at the time when the political parties, did not file in the courts about the registration of the voter rolls, registration of voters and stuff, and people are going to the Senate or the House of Representatives to petition them instead of going to the court. I think I was on your show, Mr. Jensen, or another show, when I said I was stupid of them, that the lawyers are not fit because they should be going to the court and not to the House of Representatives or to the Senate to go file a petition. That petition should be in the court. I'm glad that now they are doing it. We are going to have problems. We know that the We Are Led administration is going to try to cheat in this election because they have nothing to show the Liberian people that they have done anything good to improve the lives of the Liberian people, but their own lives. So that should be hands down know that is going to happen. What they needed to
do before you proceed, I'm not leaving you. You said something, and I think I disagree with you.
That's
if
fine.
You try to shift the problem of Liberia to generations yesterday, or quote unquote our generation, and not your generation, and then you said. Just a minute. And you said that the 1986 Constitution gave imperial power to the presidency. And because of that, there was no checks and balances in government. Now, that's the point.
No. I said, I'm exaggerating or being facetious. Because in the 1986 Constitution, the president is the one who appoints another republic. In the Constitution, in our current Constitution, in our current Constitution, the president is the one who appoints a lieutenant in the army. A lieutenant.
Yeah, right.
That should not be happening.
But it doesn't mean there's no checks and
No.
balances.
I'm saying these things are things. These are the reason why that was put in the Constitution in '86. My opinion is to make sure that the Samuel Doe who came to power because he killed William Aaron Talbot, that most Liberians will now want to admit they are going to say the Americans, the one that did it. Your generation are going to say that. That is what you guys are going to continue to say.
Mr. Johnson, can I come in, please?
Yeah, and just before you come in, Mr. Cannibal,
so
you have not still addressed the issue because
I'm saying, but you don't want your generation do not want to address history. You only want to talk
no. The first thing is when you say something that is not correct, and
what am I wrong about?
We want to correct that.
No,
right?
but it's not. You can't tell me my opinion. My opinion that your generation is led to what we are right now. I'm not
arguing with that. The first thing is the Constitution of Liberia, the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, speak of the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branches of government.
Okay, hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there.
The government are responsible to check and balance.
Stop right there for a second.
Can I get?
You're coming just a minute. Let's listen to the story. Then we'll come bring it in.
I'm saying to you, in the Constitution, when that Constitution was written, that 1986 Constitution, that one was written, it gave the executive branch too much power. That should not have happened. The 1847 Constitution did not give the power the president have in the 1986 Constitution.
We'll come back. We'll come back to you to expound on that, Mr. Cannibal. I mean,
first of all, let me just enlighten my brother on something that he said earlier. When you look at I would take it one at a time. The generation first. William Talbot was inaugurated in 1972. President William V.S. Tubman died in 1971. The close of 1971, 72, around there, Talbot came into office. Me and you were still young kids. At that time, we didn't have no governmental power, neither did we know ourselves at that particular time. Look at the time I was born in 1963. Check from 63 to the time William Talbot came to power and up to now. How many years I was? The key there is we were young. We didn't know anything. But the premise under which Liberia was founded was fraud from the beginning. It was wrong from the beginning. Liberia did not fight for no independence. Liberia was given independence. In fact, Liberia declared its independence in 1822. It was not recognized until 1847 when the United States recognized our independence.
You don't have to go way back there.
No, hold on. Fast forward it. I'm not going way there. I'm just trying to enlighten you on something. Then fast forward it to the point that my brother made about blaming those of us who are the generation before them. And I think I empathize with him because they are the younger generation. And let's look at the Constitution quickly. The Constitution that was written was revised. It was not changed completely. The Constitution was revised.
Thank you.
The Constitution was revised because, in fact, the same thing goes on here in the United States where there are amendments. 200 amendments have taken place in the United States since they wrote their Constitution. The Constitution that was written in Liberia was called the Greenleaf Constitution. The Liberian Constitution was written by a Harvard University professor called Samuel Greenleaf, for which the Constitution was named the Greenleaf Constitution. In 1980, when Samuel Doe came to power, that Constitution was revised by Amos Sawyer. Achibabana was the Secretary General in the 86th Constitution you're talking about. That was a revision of the Constitution. The key there is, in fact, one of the things that were changed in there was how district was being drawn out. How district was being drawn out. The population threshold bill, if you remember that very well, Mr. My brother, you would know that it was changed. The population threshold bill talk about 50,000 people to a district as compared to 25,000 people to a district when the Constitution was in its original form. But one of the things that I could tell you is the fact that Liberia, those of us who are citizens and we live in America and other parts of the world, and those of us who know what our country look like, we're supposed to get together to try to change things. I was in Liberia in 2021, and I saw the kind of destruction that the WIA administration have brought to our people.
Mr. Cannibal,
Okay.
Mr. Cannibal,
Yes.
we'll definitely go into those aspects.
Okay.
My concern is
Okay, but then I will leave it. I will leave it at that on the I will leave it at that on the Constitution. But the thing is, the Constitution, the 86 Constitution, does not give sweeping power to anybody. The president doesn't have a sweeping power. The legislature will still have the same three branches of government: the legislative, the judiciary, and the executive. There is nothing in the Constitution that allows George Weah to have ultimate power like a king, for him to get up and appoint people. Go back to the military you talk about, that he can appoint lieutenants. The key there is, if you look at the military is in the president have the right, even here in America, the president have the right to promote people in his country. And it is the same constitution that are operating in the country.
For 7, that's not correct. The president, there's a difference in rank where the president can appoint.
Okay, guys. We'll come there. I want Mr. Cannibal to address the question that I asked earlier, and that is the current election commission, the commissioners. And firstly, let me say we appreciate the history that you have brought into the discussion, right? And we might go into that, but we have a topic here. We want to look at the current issue we have before us. That is election. We have 10 days to election.
Yes.
Right? So we have commissioners. Maybe you will say, well, it's be later for all to discuss them, but no, we must know the problem, because it is possible that somebody could run to the Supreme Court, or someone will decide to become violent because of all of the issues.
But see, right? That's, Mr. Jensen, that's what I'm saying to you. I'm on record. I think on your show.
Before I come to you, I think you spoke about it. Let me hear from him. I'll come right back to you. So, Mr.
Cannibal, what are the things? Let's look at the commission. Let's look at the commissioners. I don't know all of the commissioners that are working with NEC right now.
The person, right?
But I do know the chair lady, Davietta Brown. Davietta Brown used to work at ERBC before.
Okay.
She's now Davietta Brown, Lasana, or something like that. Yeah, but I think it's an uncharted territory when it comes to the way they are running NEC, because Davietta Brown and other people, because up to now they have not been able to furnish the various political party with the roster of all of those various counties that have people register, because at the poll on that day, on election day, there will be representation of the various political party who will be, they call them poll watchers. The poll watchers will be there to actually compare the various roster that is given to those political party with the people that are going to go in the booth to vote. They think that it have not been clear. They said 15 days to the election, but we got less than 10 more days to go for this election to take place in Liberia, and that have never been the elections. NEC have not been able to come forward. Pardon me?
Do you trust them, or you don't trust them?
No, I don't trust them. I don't trust the NEC because of their behavior.
Okay, we'll come back to you. We'll probably tell the reason why you don't trust them. But you have something to say. But before you talk, Magistu, the elections commission, whether we like it or not, they're going to be there to conduct election, right? And I think Mr. Cannibal raised a very good issue, and that is the voters' roll. And I think you spoke about it earlier. Since the voters' roll is not out yet, Davietta Brown said the voters' roll, I think this week, they said they're going to put the voters' roll on a pen drive and send it to the different political parties, which, in my view, I think that is some problem. Because
as we are speaking right now, I think yesterday, don't quote me, they had given the UP party 14 counties the FRR. The only county they had not given to the political parties and stuff was Musselrado. I just read an article recently this morning that the Supreme Court, James Etta Howard Wollacully, told them that they had to 4 p.m. today to give the FRR. Okay. So we will see. And it was, I think they said on Monday, the NEC said Monday they were going to do it. So we will see. Yes, I agree with the brother that we cannot trust the NEC. But
Why?
what I want us as Liberians, home and abroad, is to say to trust the Supreme Court. Because that's our last.
No. Before then, why you do not trust the NEC? What are some of the reasons?
Because the Constitution states that NEC is supposed to provide FR 30 days prior to the election. They did not do it. They have been pussyfooting around in doing these things because I believe they are trying to cheat. Okay, but like I said months ago, that political party needs to go to the court and lay the documentation on what is going wrong. Not stand in the street and protest or demonstrate or just sit on television, on radio and complain. Go to the courts and document what is going on. That's the only way the court can judge on the case. Because if you
trust the court?
I'm going to trust the court. I believe that if we as citizens cannot trust the Supreme
all the justices were appointed by George Weah.
No, not all the justices. All the justices.
Almost all of them. All of them.
No, I think George Weah only appointed maybe one or two justices. He did not appoint all the justices.
No, George Weah appointed Nangbe.
Mm-hmm.
George Weah appointed
the current chief
Justice Kabah.
Yeah.
George Weah appointed Justice Bisaji. George Weah appointed three so far.
I have to disagree with that. I can't call you on that. I remember of two justices that he appointed. The one that when they removed a chief justice and they appointed another person. He may have appointed maybe two or three, not all of them.
Well, but I've just named three for you. Okay, do you agree on those?
Three. So, but he didn't appoint all of them.
Because I'm not too sure of. I think James Etta Wolokoli, that one she was appointed by during the early administration.
Yes.
And so far, right?
No,
okay, that's an issue. That's an issue.
What I'm saying, there's possibility. I believe that the Weah administration is trying to cheat because the president right now, he knows that he have not done anything for him to be reelected. For one, I'm on record with an article and stuff stating that George Weah should have never been president in the first place. I don't think he's fit to be president or even fit to stay to be president. So I believe that he is going to do whatever it takes for him to win. He is going to cheat. So
if George Weah gets involved in cheating, that's what we're asking about the whether or not the election commission. Yeah, you have to first trust the election commission because they will first have to hear any complaint that go before them. And from there, you have to trust the election, the justices. Right? So if you don't trust the two bodies, that means someone is telling me, well, we're going to take violence. I've heard from the United Party, and that's something we'll come to later.
No. Joseph Boyka did not say we're going to take violence. That's not what Joseph Boyka said.
I can play the tape right for you. Yeah.
If I may,
he did not say.
Go ahead, Cannibal. I'll play the tape for you since that's the argument.
One of the things that we must not lose focus of is the election that's going to take place in Liberia. Let us focus on that. And I think if this election go the way we Liberian people expect that election to go, free and fair. If that election is not free and fair, as a student of history, it will bring about some political skirmishes in the country. It will bring disturbances in the country. Because there are people, and I'll tell you the reason why it will bring problems.
Mr. Cannibal,
yes.
What do you want to see to know
that election
is free? To know that election is free, fair, and transparent. What do you want to see? Because I'm asking this question, and the same thing you have to address my just too. Because I'm hearing people thinking, people are saying that if we do not win election, that means election is not free and fair. But it's not free and fair, we consider. Free and fair means anybody can win election. It doesn't mean when party A doesn't win election, that means election is not free and fair. There are conditions that we hope to see, right? But some people are now saying they will win the election. And the fact that they don't win election, election is not free and fair. So what are those things that we should see that will determine that election is free and fair? We must
first of all, the distribution of the I think the EFF, they call it, or whatever it is, David Brown and other people are supposed to be able to furnish with the political parties to be able to stand in this election for people to cast their vote free and fair. That it was supposed to be given to the political parties.
Now I think they have started just the beating.
Okay, it's over with. These are some of the points that we have to look at here. If you look at the crowd that Joseph Boakai put up, I'm not a Joseph Boakai fan. I don't have no interest in politics in Liberia. Maybe today or tomorrow I'm going to look for a job in Liberia. I don't need a job in Liberia. But the key there is if you look at the crowd that Joseph Boakai put up, and I was in, like, I will go back to the point I was making earlier that I was in Liberia 2021. The suffering of the Liberian people is what you got to look at. Every infrastructure in our country is destroyed. I don't know so how long you guys been to Liberia, but the last time I was in Liberia, there are corrupt practices that are going on in the country under the Weah administration. They put something in office called government. That's not a government. It's a criminal enterprise that Weah and other people are operating in Liberia.
Mr. Cannibal, yes. We'll come to that, but I don't also think that we should be thinking that we as government is a criminal enterprise, because when you say that, you have to produce evidence. But that's not what we want to look at today. Maybe because of your interest in those areas, we might bring you back here once to discuss the Weah's administration. But we're talking about elections today. Right,
but you ask a question. And I think the Liberian people deserve an answer to that question. The Liberian people deserve an answer to that question. I saw Mr. Siri Allen. Mr. Siri Allen was on Spoon Television last night, who was very braggadocious of what they have done in Liberia, and the Liberian people need to know what's going on in their country. Liberian people need to know what's going on in their country. When I came to this country, we were always demonstrating in Washington D.C. against the Doe administration, because we felt that human rights violation was a commonplace in Liberia under Samuel Doe, and arbitrary murder and all these things were taking place. 4 government auditors is murdered in the Republic of Liberia, and the destitution of Liberian people is ongoing.
Yeah, but Mr. Cannibal, the problem is if we begin to discuss the failures of the Weah's government, we will be leaving the issue that has to do with elections. We were talking about the National Elections Commission, the commissioners.
But if you ask me about the election, I know the election ain't going to be free and fair, because the Irish Liberian Party got a parable that says.
Mr. Cannibal, the question to you was, how can we catalog those issues that when we see them happening on election day, we can conclude that election is not free and it's not fair, rather than saying because the Unity Party is not winning the election or don't win the election, I mean the election is not free.
No, Mr. Jensen. That's not the point. That's not the.
Okay, but that's what I want us to
that's not the point I'm making. That's
Mr. Jensen.
That's not the point. That's not the point I'm making. My brother made a point here. And one of the things I want to say here before I digress, before my brother coming, is the fact that when you look at the electoral process, the electoral process is clear by paper, by the Constitution and everything. If you look at it, it's clear, it's written in black and white. But the question is as to whether the NEC, who is the body that is responsible for the free and fair election in the country, will adhere to those regulations. They have dropped the ball already, because if you got document that has not been furnished to the political party, like they said, they get 14, they get 14 or county EFF to the various political parties. What happened to Monserrato County? Because Monserrato County is one of the counties that are in question right now.
Yeah, but the issue is, and let's hear from Magistu. Yeah,
Mr. Jensen. We right now, all of us can make a logical opinion suggestion, whatever. We know that NEC had dropped the ball.
What do you mean?
They have dropped the ball by not providing the FFR. They did not provide the
But you just said that they have started distributing the voter roll, right?
30 days. The Constitution said 30 days. They're supposed to provide it. The final voter
Okay, that is over with. We almost admit that the Election Commission may have some problems.
Listen. The FFR.
Okay.
I said they have dropped the ball. I'm listing all the balls they have dropped. They did not provide the FFR in the 30 days. They did not have the voter registration. They did not complete voter registration in the time they were supposed to do to complete voter registration. So all those things have happened. All those things constitutionally, it did not happen. We are where we are right now. The political parties should understand that the NEC is trying to cheat for the WIA-led administration. What they can do, what we can do as citizens.
That's an allegation. That's an allegation against the NEC.
My opinion.
And I think
I'm going.
That's an opinion, and I just telling you it's an allegation. And until you provide all of the facts,
but I am providing facts. They did not provide the FFR in the 30 days that it was supposed to. They did not complete voter registration in the time the Constitution stated that they were supposed to.
We are across those breaches.
Then why else? If you don't want to accept those facts, then why is it we'll keep asking about the NEC then? Those are the facts.
I'm asking you because look, this is a crucial issue because I have heard, and I'm a team, I have heard other party officials that have been speaking on this issue, and some of them, in fact, crowd does not determine anyone winning elections.
Okay, so let
me be on the record to say that.
Topic. That's a whole
because
different
it's the same thing.
But the
crowd. No, we're talking about how do we determine whether election is free and fair.
Okay,
there are some partisans who believe that we don't win elections.
Can I please?
Yeah.
You know the thing that is, no man can get up and we're not in the business of guessing.
Right.
There is nothing. The election has not take place in Liberia. I'm not a soothsayer to get up and guess stuff that's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Because you respectfully, I will say that I mean I'm not a guessing person. I'm a person who like to see the truth. The Liberian people got a parable that says when the Christmas gonna be good, you know it from the Eve. Okay. If for some reason the election, NEC were forthcoming, if NEC were forthcoming with all of the documentation, like my brother said, that the voter registration was free and fair, and the voter registration was done within a lot of time, and of course, not only that, but if the EFF or the FFR or whatever it is was given to the various political parties at that particular time, that the Constitution or whatever the rules and regulations of the NEC said is supposed to go to the political party, then you will have a sense of the fact that the people are doing a fair job. But
we just be informed, Mr. Cannibal, we just being informed by one of our guests, Magistrate just said, in fact, he confirmed that the United Party has received the voters' roll. He's on record right here.
Hold on.
All right. That suggests to me that the NEC has started to distribute. The NEC is not going to get United Party.
See, you're trying to play both sides.
What do you mean?
Because the FFR by the Constitution or the NEC that Mr. Cannibal said is supposed to be given 30 days before the election. The NEC has given the United Party other political thing 12 days before the election. How?
Granted.
Okay, so this
the end result is
stop. Let me finish.
Okay.
The end result is that NEC is not giving it a lot of time because if they had given it 30 days that it was supposed to by their own constitution, their own laws and rules and regulation, bylaws and regulation, and the LPP, MP, UP, whatever, all the P's and everything, waited to after the election to say, oh, this voter roll is not correct, then it's on them.
but you gave it 12 days before the election. How are they going to save to a 4.5 million thing in a lot of time? So these are the roadblocks that they are putting up. So
so do you want the election to be suspended?
Hold on. Let me finish. Anybody with a logic would say that you are putting a roadblock. That's the reason why the UP went to the courts and sued the NEC on those premises. And UP also went to the courts because the NEC in the constitution in the law that NEC is not supposed to change any laws or come up with any laws that will affect the election. NEC has reported.
However,
as of yesterday or day before yesterday, that they will not be punching a hole in the
election. May I just say something quickly on that?
Let him land, Mr. Cannibal. Let him land. Yeah, conclude your thought.
Okay. Hold on, Mr. Cannibal.
Can I say something quickly on that?
No, just let him land. Let him. You come in. Let conclude your thought.
Okay. And NEC. So what UP did was went and sued the NEC on those premises. And that's what I said many months ago, that NEC, political parties should sue NEC for the voter registration. But they went and did a petition to the House of Representatives, which I said was stupid, which I felt that the correction, it was asinine for them to do that. So I'm saying to you, the NEC and the Weah-led administration, who was appointed by President George Manuel Weah, they are putting these roadblocks. What the political party and what UP is doing is by going to the courts. That's why I said I have faith.
You want to blow the horn of the UP, but that is not a plus, right? The voters roll has been, as you said, even David Ethel Brown has mandated the National Election Commission. I think he said before 4 p.m. tomorrow or what time the voters roll must be distributed.
The court ordered them to give it to them. It's not that it was NEC ordered NEC to give it. Not David Ethel Brown. The courts ordered them.
But the thing is
that has mandated that the voters roll must be distributed within a certain time, meaning then that has been certified until I will agree with you. Just a point. I will agree with you if there will be a political party that can recognize errors, serious fundamental errors within the voters' roll. Okay, to say with this voters' roll, we cannot proceed with elections. That obligation is on the political parties.
That's what I'm saying. With what you just said, that there's the timetable for that. The voter registration, the voting is in 10 days. The timetable for that. Where you trying to say just because? Tell me if I'm wrong. What are you trying to say right now? Because with 10 days in there, if the election is held in 10 days, when the election is held in 10 days, and they go to court, you will say as a lawyer saying that, oh, we give it a year in 10 days, so whatever happened, it happened.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you, political parties, we must all understand. That's why we said the problems and prospects for elections. The problem, Election Commission has solved. They are human beings. I'm not supporting them, but they may have had some challenges, right? As an institution. Now, let us assume that they did not give this thing, they did not live by the law. That is no excuse for them, though.
Okay.
But election being a cardinal issue to solve the country's problem, because when you don't have election, it's a bigger problem than having election or giving voters.
Nobody is calling for us not to have election.
But can I come in a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things I want to say here today is the fact that when you look at NEC operates by law. Right. If NEC is not working by law, then of course we need to close it down, because if they are operating by law and the law states that within 30 days. Documentation.
Okay, let's follow your logic. Do you agree more close NEC down now because they
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it to that extent. But I'm just trying to tell you that there are laws.
Right?
Pardon me?
You said more close them down.
He's been facetious.
No. I didn't say it in that sense. What I'm saying to you is, if they are not operating by law, if they're not, because it is the Liberian constitution that put the NEC into office, more especially the constitution talking about having election.
I agree. Okay,
but the
issue now
is the case,
NEC has violated their own terms, the electoral guidelines.
Okay,
30 days set, right?
That's the point I'm trying to make.
But that's what I'm telling you too now. Hello, I'm telling you that we are aware that NEC is in violation of the electoral guidelines, right? That says the voters roll must be given 30 days before elections.
Okay.
They are giving it out.
In your own opinion, if there is no there is no irregularities that you're speaking of, if that is the case, then of course you don't think that the election process have been tampered with?
Now that's what I'm telling you right now. The voters roll we are made now. We are made. Let assume NEC is not here, right? But let me speak for NEC. Let's assume NEC is having some challenges, and they are in violation of either knowingly or unknowingly they're in violation of the electoral guidelines that says they must give the voters roll 30 days before election. The first shot of that. However, they are given the voters roll. Let us assume the voters roll is complete, is perfect, and to conduct elections.
What?
Or the other way around. Or the other way around. But just can you listen? Or the other way around. Let us assume that the voters roll have serious fundamental problems. Question to the two of you is: do we suspend election or do we proceed with election? Let us assume you represent the political party, the UP, or he representing the what party he will see representing the CDC. So do we proceed with election or do we suspend election?
No. We do not suspend election.
One of the you see one of the things that NEC is not entitled to is their own opinion or their own laws or their own regulation.
I agree.
One of the things that I want to say here is the fact that
if you look at many persons who listen to us, this will be a sticker issue, right? Should we suspend election? Let us assume that NEC is in fundamental. Do we suspend election or do we proceed with elections?
Because they did not cancel the Liberian people mandated these people to do a job for which they get paid. The Liberian people, the Constitution of Liberia mandated these people to do a job for the Liberian people, and they got paid for it.
They have challenges.
If they mess up, then that's something that we can discuss later on.
They have challenges. So, do you suspend election?
They should have brought those challenges to the attention of the Liberian people before it got too late.
So, is it late now to conduct election because of those challenges?
No, it's not. Election must go on. Election must go on.
But for him, Cannibal,
I don't think I would be in the interest of suspending the election at a crucial point where people have made expensive various political parties.
Mr. Jensen,
Magister.
election must go on. No, election should not be suspended. That's the reason why I said that political party should go to the courts instead of going in the street demonstrating, protesting. Go to the court and document it. That's the only way the judges can fairly decide on cases, can adjudicate cases.
I agree with you. I also hold that view that election, you cannot suspend election because there's too much into it. However, let me not be conclusive on that. Election can be suspended, right?
But not this election.
Listen. There must be fundamental reason why election will be suspended. For example,
true, 100% true.
But Mr. Jensen,
no political party is calling for
suspension. No political party.
No, we are not calling for that. But let's lay down some fundamental truth. Let us assume the voters' roll have fundamental errors. For example, you have duplication of names. You have whatever age, manipulations. Let us assume, not admitting to any of those things, but let us assume those things that happen or will be found on the voters' roll. That will give some serious reason for political parties themselves, not to do it with some evil thought or with the intent to discard elections, right? But let us assume that those things were recognized on the voters' roll. I would believe The voters, the political parties should be able to meet and have discussions as to the way forward, not to just get up our poor people. They are very united party people. They believe they have won the election. They don't win election. I mean, election is not free and fair. I've heard them saying all across
I don't think so. I don't think anybody thinking that way. I don't think many the oppositional political parties in the country. I don't speak for them, and I'm not a member of any of the
The standard bearer have not said that, because
the standard bearer said the standard bearer has called on this. Let me say this one to you. Aboakai, I respect him, but his recent statement, I have said it, that his recent statement was in fundamental error.
No, you because you are Taiwan Gonglo LPP guy, so you are going to
I just played.
I read the statement. I listened to the statement.
No, you haven't heard the statement.
I heard the statement, and he even clarified it this morning. He clarified it this morning on a radio interview.
What did he say?
I will send it to you. I will find it and send it to you.
Just quoting. You don't have the quoting verbatim.
Paraphrasing, he said.
Yes, right.
Paraphrasing, he said where he meant that everything that's happened in this country, if the decline of the WEA administration coming into power, the country have declined. If they were to cheat and do such thing, the country will go into further decline and we will be a failed state. That, I'm paraphrasing kind of what he said. He said that he didn't call for no violence. Joseph Boakai didn't call for violence before that. There is nobody in Liberia that I know.
He did. He's on record.
You are.
He did. I'm going to play. But let's hear from you.
LPP is the violent party. What are you talking about? LPP is the militant party.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Are you serious?
There
are two political parties. And I want to maintain that.
Militancy in Liberia is from LPP and UP and the UPP.
These elections must be monitored, and there are two political parties that they need to be very careful, or else
LPP has
the CDC and the United Party.
The LPP
are coming from the two parties. They are not
the militant party of Liberia. LPP party is the militant party of Liberia.
All right, I'm not here to represent LPP. All I'm telling you, this election, the UP folks are not speaking the words of peace.
The did not say anything
violent. Not speaking the words of peace.
The standard bearer did not call for violence. The standard bearer.
He did. I'll play it. But let's listen to you, Mr. Cannibal. Now, with all of these issues, what are the pieces of advice to the National Election Commission?
The thing there is this. I don't care which political party anybody belong to. My point that I always made when it comes to Liberia, at the end of the day, when the election is over, we are still brothers and sisters in Liberia.
I agree.
The key there is if you look at the NEC, the NEC have dropped the ball. And I'm not calling for election to be canceled, because there have been a lot of things that have gone through this election. And looking at the statement that Boakai made, in fact, Siri Allen spoke to the airwave the other day, like I was trying to talk about, and he talked about Prince Johnson. He talked about Prince Johnson because Prince Johnson was one of those people who, out of frustration, said that if the election is rigged, there were going to be war. The thing that is a lot of people that are frustrated with this election that is coming up, more especially with the kind of governance that Mr. Weah and his cronies have put forth for the Liberian people for the past almost 6 years now in the country. So these things are things that people are going to be speaking out of frustration because they want to see a total change taking place in Liberia.
Before you continue, I just want to play this short clip from Ambassador Boakai, right? And when we finish playing it, we'll give my just a chance to respond, and then we'll give you a chance to respond. We not got so much time here, but depending on you guys, maybe we can understand the time and see what it's about. This is a short clip, so we just want you to listen and be honest and tell us what have you heard, not what Joseph Boakai is thinking after this, because our listeners are listening to you to your analysis. So let's listen.
Play it.
That's why you have to protect it. If you think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. You're not going to allow them to.
Did you listen to that?
Yes, I listened to that.
I played.
That's why you
Listen.
If you think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country.
Okay.
You will allow them to.
Okay.
They think they will
Mr.
steal
Jensen,
this
They think
elections.
we'll see that in the election, it will be the end of this country. He did not
Yes.
call for
Mr.
violence.
Mr. Jensen,
Yeah,
Mr. Jensen,
yeah.
can I just say something? Because
Yeah, we
all
listen to
the people who have the various political parties in the country have been making
Before you
statements
proceed, can you
in our
say
country
something
that
to the recording?
that is not warranted for this election taking place.
Yeah, before you proceed, I want you to please give your view. And you heard the clip, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I heard the clip, but that's the point I'm trying to make.
Uh-huh.
That's the very point I'm trying to make.
Okay, go ahead.
There are things that people have said that are not warranted in this election, that are a few days away.
Right.
But like I always said, people are saying things out of frustration with the kind of way Liberia is right now, and the situation Liberia found itself in. So even in fact, there are other people that say worse than that.
I
But
agree.
but the key there is, during election time, people will put their foot in their mouth, and stuff like that politically. But at the end of the day, we are all Liberian people, and we want to see Liberia move to the next stage when it comes to development and everything like that, for our country to be to get back on course.
That should be in your closing comment. We'll come right back to you, Mr. Majestu. What do you say about the video? This short clip.
Like I said, you didn't have to play it for me. I have already read it. I've already saw the video. All right. So
okay, we did play it. So whatever you want to say about it, I will say.
say.
You're not really listening to us here.
Former Vice President Joseph Nima Boyka never called for violence in that tape. He clarified his statement.
Beside the clarification, because that's what you want to dwell on, right?
That's what I'm saying. That statement he made, that statement does not call for violence in the country. Anybody that knows Joseph Boyka,
to say Liberia will not exist, what does that mean to you?
Let me answer the question, sir. Let me finish my statement. His statement he made. Anybody that knows Joseph Boyka in that country, there's nobody that have ever heard Joseph Boyka call for any violence in that country. So it is very propaganda of you, the LPP party, Liberian People Party, a member, a person that you are supporting, for you to come out and spill that he's trying to call for violence. If we go back into history, the LPP party that derived from Moja was the militant group that a political party derived from, and the SUP political party that is on the University of Liberia that is part of the militancy that have taken over the country in our schools came from the LPP party. My dad, who is part, hold on, let me finish. My dad, who is part of the LPP party and was part of Moja, they're the one who trains people like Samuel Doe to do some of the stuff that he did. So let's not talk about militancy. When we talk about militancy and violence, don't put Joseph Boyka name into it. Let's stick with the LPP party. That's your party.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that response. But this is what we want to say about this clip, right? Joseph Boyka statement, he slept on this one. All right? There's no way you will listen to him. He said he's urging his partisans. It's not like Joseph Boyka is the one who's going to take knives, who's going to take rocks. Do you know 4 persons died in Lofa County yesterday?
Yeah, because of Thomas Fala and the CDC people.
It's not just Thomas Fala. It's not just Thomas Fala. Do you know there are men that were seen? Do you know there are men that were seen in a special red t-shirts for themselves in defense of the United Party?
Mr. Jensen, I understand it's your show. You're trying to spell propaganda for your LPP party.
It's not LPP we're doing here, right? And I'm not an LPP member here, right? But I'm telling you, the way in which the leaders will speak will make the children will take guns.
He never
get involved in violence. Joseph Boyka slept on this. His statement, he cannot erase Liberia. His statement was very awkward. He shouldn't have said that, right? And we should be on record to say that. Joseph Boyka could not, he needed not to have said that.
Mr. Jensen. Mr. Jensen.
Yeah.
Mr. Jensen.
Yeah.
Mr. Jensen.
We listen to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm hearing you.
Go ahead.
The thing that is we all live here I live here in the United States. Those of us that are living here in the United States, if you look at the various political parties in this country, you got two viable parties in this country that fight among themselves, the Republican and the Democratic Party in this country, as big as this country is. We got many parties, we got over 20 parties, or maybe 20 parties to be exact, in Liberia that are running in this election. The thing that is, you're going to see some people, because of the situation Liberia found itself in, I always repeat myself on that. Look, if Liberia, if Mr. Weah and other people are doing a good job in Liberia, they don't have to. They don't have to fight. They just have to go and stand for re-election, and they will get re-elected easily. I was one of those people who supported Mr. Weah when Mr. Weah came to power in Liberia, because we all come from a very destitute family. We were poor family, and people used to think that people who play football were not good people in Liberia those days, back in the day when we were growing up. And and somebody like me, I put my support behind George Weah. But today I can never stand up and want to, even if George Weah wants to stand here today, for me to stand beside him. And I know George Weah very well, because of what they have done to our country.
Yeah, but Mr. Cannibal, this is the issue, right? George Weah, with all of the frustration Liberians are expressing, let's assume that George Weah will not be voted for. This is time everybody must be very clear to make sure that this election is violent-free. It doesn't matter who is there, but if Joseph Boakai speaks violence or speaks in a way that
I will not allow you to say that.
We almost be able to tell Joseph Boakai that he slipped on this one. Because George Weah, his errors should not be seen as a reason for anyone to take action.
Joseph Boakai never called for violence. You are
the video is there. We just played. Our listeners will.
You are trying to spread propaganda to your listener, because you are an LPP Tarum Gonglo supporter. Joseph Boakai never called for violence.
I'm not an LPP man. I mean, I'm sorry that you have to be. You are Tarum Gonglo
supporters.
You are I have said it. Tarum is one of the funniest in the race.
No,
I have said that.
But the thing that
is one of the funniest in the race.
When it comes to being
but
president.
The issue is, if somebody right now, as we speak to you, there are kids in Lofa County, and those things are troubling. We don't have the time to play some of those things. Somebody sent those videos yesterday. There are folks that say, well, there are over 400 young men. You know what they are saying in Lofa County? That they are organized themselves as defense for the Unity Party. How did that come about? Are you people condemning it? Do you know what will happen?
But if that is the case, Mr. Henson, then of course you're supposed to, Mr. Jensen, then of course you're supposed to play the tape from Thomas Fala, what Thomas Fala said in Lofa County.
I agree. What I'm saying to you, I'm not supporting Thomas Fala or other people. What I'm saying is like everybody.
What you trying to say
about peaceful election?
What you trying to say, Mr. Jensen, is that Joseph Boakai, and I will say again to your audience, Joseph Boakai never called for violence in that country. His tape never called for violence. You are trying to paint him as he calling for violence. He never did.
As far as his tape is concerned,
that's
as far as this recording is concerned,
your opinion,
this was an error on the part of Joseph Boakai. I will maintain that.
In your opinion, sir.
It's not my opinion. I play it. They are listeners here. No, it's not my opinion.
You are entitled to your opinion, but not your own facts. You are entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts. Joseph Boakai never called for violence.
Well,
I mean, that's a view, right? The evidence is right here to say
but I think it's a sad thing for us as
Mr. Jensen. You can try to slice it however way you want to do it. I would not sit here and
allow
you to fill that propaganda from the LPP party.
The man said Labra will not exist. How do Labra?
No, you did not.
You
did not say that.
Let's assume the election. Mr. Cannibal, let me ask you the question. Let's assume and not to admit that election is George Weah cheat the election or the election commission. There's no free and fair election. Do you agree that Labra should not exist? Let's assume that was the case. You are in contradiction, Mr. Magisto. You lay out the premise that we all should respect the Supreme Court, right? If we have problem, we'll run to the Supreme Court. But Joseph Boakai is not saying that. He said Labra will not exist if the election went wrong. He called on the young people to protect their votes. That's why he's saying he is recording. So let us assume that
there is nobody.
Now you're trying to put words. Now you're trying to take words from different places and add it into that whole clip right now.
Oh, I'm taking words from you. You said we want all the Supreme Court, which I agree with you, right? But if you said,
Joseph Boyka said he made a statement. I'm not saying he didn't make a statement. The statement may not be of he said something in a moment of passion, but he never called for violence. He said,
my brother, I'm saying the man is on tape, his own words. If
call
anybody
for
say
violence.
Labrador will not exist, what does that mean to you?
What
It doesn't mean you say other things, but you say if the election is not free and fair, Labrador will not exist. What does that mean to you?
Okay, he clarified his statement. If you go up to his statement, he clarifying, he's saying that it would be a failed state because George administration have failed the country.
Mr. Jensen, Mr. Jensen.
Yeah,
Mr. Jensen?
Yeah.
I think we need to take Chris Coons to court. Chris Coons, the Delaware senator, we need to take him to court because he made the same statement the last time when Liberia had a problem where Obama sent the few hospital when we had Ebola. If you go back to the word that Chris Coons said, because he was the spokesperson for the government on CNN, and he said, and I quote, that Liberia was a failed state. If that is the case, it's the same thing that Joseph Boyka is trying to say.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. A failed state is not the same as saying Labrador will not exist. Labrador will not exist. I mean, you ought to bring Labrador down.
Mr. Jensen, look what happened in Haiti right now. Haiti is a failed state. Haiti is a failed state. That is what Joseph Boyka is saying, that if George Weah is re-elected, we will be like Haiti.
That's a fair statement, right? What coming from you is a fair statement.
No, I'm saying
we'll be like a failed state, or Labrador will be a failed state. If elections, no.
Mr. Jensen, hold on. He may not have said that in a moment. He didn't explain that. He may have used rhetoric, but he didn't call for violence.
Fine, so then you are admitting impact that there was a rhetoric. The rhetoric was wrong. That's what I'm saying.
But he didn't call for violence.
Was wrong on this one. To say Labrador will not exist doesn't mean Labrador will be a failed state.
But Mr. Jensen,
yeah,
Mr. Jensen, if I may, for a minute. What's about the statement that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and George Weah made in Monrovia that Joseph Boyka can never become president? What is his citizenship and what is Joseph Boyka's citizenship? Even though I'm not a UP man.
That's a different issue there. I don't support Ellen for
that.
No,
that's not a different thing. For you to look at somebody who is a full-fledged citizen of a country and say they can never become president for a country because you have wrecked the country up and the country is suffering and somebody trying to make a change. In their own view, and then you're thinking that your political view is better than the person's political view, and you're making those kind of statements against the person. So when they make a statement, Joseph Boyka's statement is not the only statement we have to look at. I think maybe he was speaking out of frustration.
Somebody say Labrador will always exist, and I agree with you, Edward Anderson. Labrador will always exist. Joseph Boyka himself cannot erase Labrador.
Mr. Jensen's agenda here is to make Tawan Gonglo look good.
My brother, Tier 1 is a Tier 1. If I miss Tier 1 this election,
hold on. Mr. Jensen. Yeah. I can tell you right now, one of the things that the Liberian people should not trust Tawan Gonglo about right now.
All right. You want to go different way, but let's go. Hold
on.
Let's go this way.
Give you one.
My brother, this is not a conversation between. Okay, you know what? We'll organize. Listen. Maybe we'll organize. Listen to me. I will ask patient to come and conduct the show, then you come and support Joseph Boyka, and I come and support Tawan Gonglo. Don't argue for the two. Just for the purpose of education.
Okay.
You agree to that?
We
set the time. I will ask patient to come and conduct the show, and then you bring all of your facts and circumstances about Joseph Boyka, and I can come and bring all of your facts and circumstances about Tawan Gonglo.
Okay, we can do that.
If you agree, I will set the show.
I agree with that.
Right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, good. So I will call patient after the show. I will call patient. We'll organize it so you can come and prove your Joseph Boyka here, and I come and bring Tawan Gonglo. So you can bring all of it probably you know about Tawan Gonglo. That would be a very good exercise for our
I'm just saying, my whole thing is about your party, and We can
Tell
talk
me your
about it.
party.
No
I'm
problem.
not an LPP man. Like your father, your old man. They don't want that LPP. LPP
Oh yeah,
people.
they're all everything I
Okay,
say, everything
here's
I'm
the
saying
issue.
about them.
Okay,
They
let's
already know that.
proceed further with. Somebody is asking question. What is the topic, right? The topic is few days to October 10th elections. What are the problems and prospects of conduct elections? Are we certified right now? Are Liberians prepared to conduct elections? What are the problems? If you're just joining us, we've been talking a lot about the problems of the Election Commission and looking at the Supreme Court, whether they are prepared to handle maybe electoral dispute. And so there are a lot of things. So you can make a comment about these things. Few days to October 10th elections, what are the problems that we think, that could hinder the electoral process? Are they so serious that to cause somebody say, like Mr. Cannibal say, even though he backed off, but he was calling for suspension of the Election Commission because the Election Commission did not present the voters' roll as per law, right? But again, when I asked the question, because of that, should we suspend election? He said, no, we should not suspend election because too much have been put into election. So those are some of the problems he recognized, right? So Mr. Majestu is also saying, well, for him, he believes that the Election Commission, he doesn't trust the Election Commission, but he trusts the Supreme Court. Then I asked him, but the dispute has to start with the Election Commission and then proceed to the Supreme Court. Do we trust the Supreme Court? Because bulk of the members of the Supreme Court, the justices, were appointed by George Weah. Because if you don't say it now, and there's elections and people decide to challenge result, that's the time we're going to be here. Oh, we don't trust the Supreme Court. We don't trust the Supreme Court. We don't trust the Supreme Court. So if you don't trust them now, or if you trust them now, don't come out tomorrow and say we don't trust the Supreme Court. Because they are the one that we have.
Mr.
Or do not refute. The United Party folks have been saying they don't trust the Supreme Court. So when something happens, they're not going to go to the Supreme Court. We have heard them saying
they are going to the Supreme Court. They are making cases. They are
that's what we are
doing it right.
I respect you for that, right? And that's your voice. That's your lunar voice. But we are hearing United Partisans who are saying...
hold on. The United Party as a whole, they have been filing cases to the Supreme Court. The cases...
Don't use that one case, because I have one case I want to dwell on here.
They have about 3 cases. They have
all right, that's good. For me, that's good. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a perfect process.
So that's what I'm saying. They are giving the premises of what's happening. When the time comes,
okay. So we all agree
we will have to
tomorrow after elections.
We have to respect
let
the
us
decision of the Supreme Court.
Elections. Let us assume that election is not free and fair. The route should be go to the Supreme Court. No, with the Election Commission, let the hearing officers hear it. Let the Board of Commissioners decide, and then you can challenge the result from there and go to the Supreme Court. That's the civilizing we have now. So the United Partisans must agree to the laid down principles.
But they
should not deviate from that. Not only them, all of them are taking part in the election.
Listen, every political party should do that.
Right.
I have always said that go to the courts. Do not stay.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Okay.
I agree
so
on
go
that.
to the courts.
Right. So, and I think Mr. Cannibal agree with Mr. Cannibal. Do you agree on that too? Right? Mr. Cannibal. Hello?
Yes. The election. If you look at one of the questions I wanted to ask is the fact that I hear from you, Mr. Jensen, if I got myself correct, that when it come to Unity Party, they are synonymous with violence.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But their utterances,
okay,
their utterances are suggesting that they don't respect the court. I've heard Darrell Dillon saying that. I heard some senior officials of the Unity Party saying that. Even Joseph Bugger
is for the Liberty Party. He's not Unity Party.
And one of the point I want to make here is the fact that if you look at.
Oh, you want to be technical? I'm being technical, like how you want to be technical when it fits you.
No. What I'm saying to you, and I think we have some common ground here. They all must agree to go to the Supreme Court, or go to
that's what they are doing. That's what they are doing.
Mr. Jensen. Yeah. Mr. Jensen.
Yeah.
Mr. Jensen, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead.
if I may for a second.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at CDC, the CDC partisan,
Mm-hmm.
the CDC partisan over the years have been more violent and don't want to take things to court. If we're looking at people who have perpetuated violence in our country for all these years, for the 5 almost 6 years, George, we have been in office, they have not been able to use the court system in the country. And if you look at people like Jefferson Kochi and the students, let me just give you a case in point. The University of Liberia student left and went to the United States Embassy out of frustration to try to let the United States government know that the situation that they face economically in the country and the way people were being killed in the country. What happened? Jefferson Kochi, being the mayor of the city of Monrovia, unleashed violence on the students of the Republic, on the students of the University of Liberia, and up to today nobody has said anything. You will want to ask me for the evidence, but there are evidence there. Yes.
The issue here right now, those were the governor's time. You all as citizens or partners of Liberia, you had a right to either use the money and urge civil society group or those group of persons to file a lawsuit. If you didn't do that, we have crossed that bridge right now to elections. So our discussions is on elections. The question I want to ask you all is, why if George Weah wins this election, will you all accept the result?
Well, if George Weah wins this election,
listen to the question.
If George Weah wins this election, then of course the Liberian people, 95% or even 99.9% of the Liberian people will not accept the result because it will not be a free and fair election. And I can tell you the reason why.
And that's the problem I'm having with other people. That's the same voice of the United Party folks. Because you know why? George Weah is campaigning.
I'm not into Unity Party. I'm not a Unity Party. I'm not a party animal in Liberia. I'm not a registered party. Partisans in Liberia and Joseph Boakai. I don't speak for Joseph Boakai.
Okay, Mr. Kanebo, I get you. But here's the issue, right? We must face this thing with reality. There are people who are campaigning quietly, very seriously, and there are people who believe that they have seen crowd and then they have won election. That anything else short of their winning the election, it means election is not free and fair. And that is not a fair statement. We want to tell people...
Mr. Jensen, can I just say something quickly?
Mr. Kamal, can you hold on 1 second?
Mr. Jensen, can I just say something quickly?
Before you come in, you've been talking. Let's listen to my Jesse will come right back to you. Just a minute, Mr.
Kanebo. Let him go.
Okay, he gave the time to you. Mr. Kanebo, continue.
Mr. Jensen, I'll tell you a little story about me. Okay, let me just say something quickly about myself. If you remember the late Tom Woyu, I am the younger brother to Tom. I am the younger brother to Tom Woyu, and Tom Woyu then was leaving from here going to Liberia, and he said to me, "My man, let's go to Liberia because I knew." Let me just finish 1 second. Let me just finish 1 second. And he said to me, "Look, let's go to Liberia." What's that?
I said, even though taking us back to history of the Civil War, Tom Woyu was the spokesperson.
No, I'm not going to take you far, but I'm telling you something about me. Maybe you and myself just met today.
Okay.
But I have been in the political trenches. When I came here, Dustin Wolokoli and all the guys, Blambo Wito, all these people and myself, we all used to run around when it comes to Liberian politics. I'm just trying to tell you something. But because the thing is, I'm not a type of person who will come on the talk show most of the time. But I'm telling you, I follow things. Like me, I would never support violence in our country. I would never support violence in our country. If that was the case, I would have gone to Liberia December 24th, 1989, when the war started in Liberia. The key there is our country is beloved to us. We love our country. That's the reason why some of us came here to try to achieve something and go back to Liberia and do something. But at the rate, and people try to deny what is going on in Liberia. People try to deny what is going on. It's factual. These things are things that people need to look at in order for Liberia to exist. There are other countries in Africa that are waking up from their sleep and try to fix their country. Typical example, before I digress, I would refer you to Burkina Faso and see what is going on in Burkina Faso right now.
Okay. I mean, we take a point, right? And we agree with you that there are a lot of problems. But you know what happened?
Mr. Jensen,
The problem
can you ask
is
hold on. Can you ask the question you are going to ask? Please ask that question about the Unity Party accepting if George Weah wins. Please ask the question.
I will come to that question. But the issue is
come on, you can't go back to the question.
No, the man narrated some stuff. You don't want me to address it?
He was just telling a story.
The man brought about Tom Uwoyu and the different
we're not going about the history. You said we're not going about the history.
That's not history, but listen to me.
Okay.
I just want to ask him or address the issue. The reason why people have elections is for Liberians to express their frustrations, their happiness, the things that they like, the things they don't like through their vote. Hey, George Weah kill their man, George Weah kill auditors, George Weah did whatever they think about. If they saw those things and they still feel that George Weah can still cover it up, can still do the best for Liberia than any other person, when they cast their votes for George Weah will be president. You cannot say because you don't like him, so he cannot be president.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
No, you hold on. Let him finish, please. I want to address it. Let him finish.
What I'm saying to you is that all of the problems you enumerated, there are candidates in the race. Talk to Liberian people. With all the George Weah problem, don't vote for him. If they don't listen to you and they voted for George Weah should be president. People should not take guns. People should not get into violence because George Weah is re-elected. All you should do as a political party or as friends of Liberia or as people, influential persons, is to get to understand that elections is free and fair. But when that process is over with, when there are problems, let us assume there will be problem. Not admitting there will be problem, people should go to court. Don't get into violence. I'm saying this thing because we all monitor there are people making statements. Some of them are influential people. They didn't know the implications.
Mr. Jensen,
happened to Lofa County yesterday. 4 persons died.
Mr. Jensen,
these are the things we're talking about. Let's control our lips. Let's monitor the process and let everybody
Mr. Jensen,
go to court when things go wrong.
The official statement, Mr. Jensen, if the people of Liberia, like in 2016, I stated, I'm on record that George Weah was uniquely unqualified to be president. Mr. Kabar over here supported George Weah being president. I don't see why he would have.
Mr. Cannibal, sorry, your name. Somebody say your name. You're not saying your name. I'm Mr. Cannibal. Sorry.
Mr. Cannibal stating here that he supported George Weah.
Cannibal. You were quite only before the show ends, so you just be Edward Anderson.
Mr. Cannibal said he supported George Weah, which in a 2016-17 election, which I don't know why he would have, because there's nothing George Weah have displayed leadership in any shape or form or anything, a vision or anything that anybody would think that he would be president. What I wrote an article about him, everything I wrote in our article came to pass when he became president. Everything when I say he would be a failed president, I stated it almost 7-8 years ago. Is exactly what happened. And I'm saying to Liberian people again, if you elect George Weah as the next, re-elect George Weah as president again, Liberia will be a failed state. George Weah has no vision. He has no mind of what a leadership of a president should be. George Weah only cares about George Weah. And the people that he has around him have failed the country. People like my brother, who is a deputy finance minister for Liberia. His policy, the policy that they have imparted in Liberia, his children will not even be able, my brother, my niece and nephew will not be able to be successful in Liberia with the policy that George Weah administration have displayed in the country.
Okay, so, that's an advertisement. That's an advertisement. I mean, we will charge you, we'll take patient to charge you for that. But the issue is...
Hold on. So, Joseph Boyka never called for violence. He may have said things in the
You see, all this,
heat of the
you see, that's
time.
what can happen. You know, when big people talking, you must be very careful because when the time is slip, then everybody had to be on the defense to be. Mama, I've been doing public relations. I know what he means.
But he never
The
called
man
for
slip.
violence.
So let the
Young
other one
people-
there.
yup, I saw a statement from the LPP people who were trying to say Joseph Boakai was calling for violence, and I'm
That's why he
saying to
did.
them,
That's why he did. So let's leave that issue. The Liberian
No,
people
he did
themselves
not.
will judge that, right? The statement is still around. The tip is all
but
around.
no, but hold on one second. If the people of Liberia decide to re-elect George Weah as president, I'm in Gesu Wolokol. We accept the thing. If they go hold on. If we go to the courts, if there's a problem, what the UP party should go to the court and the Supreme Court rule saying that he won and whatever the case may be, I'm in Gesu Wolokol will stand up and I will not like the decision.
We are on terms. We are on terms of that. We are on terms.
I will accept that.
Okay, good. That's the most civilized thing. That's the most civilized, and I agree with you 100%. That's what we're talking about here. We don't want people taking guns. We don't want people jumping.
Nobody called for guns.
Okay, so that's good.
Never called for guns.
Time is fast spent, and Mr. Cannibal.
Yeah,
Hello, Mr. Cannibal, are you there?
I'm here, listening.
Okay, so with all of those things, let's flip the coin. I know time is fast spent. Will you accept?
So what?
Just in case
The election, if the election is held today, is held today, I expect for the election to be free and fair in Liberia as we speak, because the essence of having an election is for that election to be free and fair.
Right.
But we don't want to go the route that the Nigerian went. We don't want to go the route that the Sierra Leoneans went. We want to see Liberia to be the beacon of the world, to try to export democracy throughout the land and breadth of Africa, West Africa to be exact. But for you to think that it will be something easy for people to accept in Monrovia that Mr. Weah and other people, because again, it will go back to the point that I made earlier concerning the parable that I gave, which is when a Christmas is going to be good, you know it from the eve. Darietta Brown and other people who are students of history, if Darietta Brown is the same Darietta Brown that I knew from the EOBC, then of course they have to be careful how they run that election, because as a student of history, the same thing happened in 1985 when the election was rigged in favor of Samuel Doe in Monrovia, and I will leave it at that.
Okay, thank you so much for that piece of information. We believe the Election Commission will do all her best to conduct free and fair elections, because they are right in Liberia themselves. Anything goes wrong, they can't just leave that Liberia and say they're running away from that country. All right? Howbeit, things could go wrong. And our concern is,
of course,
if things are not right, Liberians, political parties, candidates, the young people must understand that Liberia will always be there as a country. Election is just an event. There will be procedural steps. I know some things go too far. That's why political leaders must take it easy when they are speaking. Because what happened in Niger could repeat itself in Liberia, or could be worse if people are not mindful. So in this kind of discussions, we want to emphasize very seriously that there are laid down procedures that people should follow when elections are not satisfactory. Other than that, you can bring that country down, like Joseph Boakai is suggesting. Liberia will not exist. Let's burn it down. Right?
Stop the propaganda, Mr. Jensen.
I know
Stop
you,
the propaganda.
Right?
Stop the propaganda.
I don't think Joseph Boakai suggested that. To be frank with you,
no, he didn't say. No, he didn't say burn down. But how will Liberia not exist? Liberia will not only exist. You're burning the whole thing down.
Stop spilling LPP propaganda.
Okay, the LPP team will discuss that already. So, gentlemen, we have just few seconds left, a minute. So we give each of you time to give your closing comment. You can stay within the means of election. You can advise Liberians. We have 10 days. Maybe we'll still have 1, 2, or 3 more shows before the election day. You know, and any of you who are cognizant of some of the sticky issues, we'll be glad to discuss these matters. But 10 days from now, elections will be held. And we really believe that I agree with some of you guys on some of the points you're throw out there. The voter roll have been out ever since to give political parties and individuals the right to go through these things and find the errors and sit with election commission, say these are errors, so you need to clean the roll. But 10 days to election.
But Mr. Jensen, why you think they don't did that?
Well, there could be. No, I'm not speaking, but there could be challenges, right? I'm not saying
you want to speak. You want to speak in the windows when it's time to bring. When it's time to talk about what the NEC does. But when it's time for him to stick to the facts, when Joseph Boyka, he don't give you no ambiguity.
No.
When it's NEC, instead of himself they're trying to cheat, he said no.
Brother, I don't support NEC cheating election. Let me on the record. I don't support this election. Is too crucial for Liberia. The election is very crucial for Liberia for anyone to attempt cheating. Even there's some other political party we hear when people want to go into NEC files. People want to use computer and go in there and do and manipulate the system. We don't support anything that will cause chaos in our country. Liberians should be concerned about maintaining the peace. The fragile peace is better than the destruction that anyone will ever think about. So NEC, we don't even think that NEC will be so, sorry to say, go out of track to think about, why I will use the pulpit just to announce a result, whether they like it or not. No one should do that. Because guess what? This technology is there. People will find a result. We have done some few publications and other stuff. We hope that those who are conducting elections will conduct elections with a free mind for the interest of the people of that country and the existence of that country. So let's close on that and listen to your closing comment. Mr. Magister, will start with you saying Mr. Cannibal is I don't know what happened to the computer.
To everybody who just watched this show, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for listening to us, go back and forth. Mr. Jensen, thank you for having me on the show again. It's always a spirited debate between you and myself.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Look forward to us having a show where you come and defend Taiwan Gonglo and I can come and defend Joseph Boyka.
Okay. We'll make it just for purposes of information. All right.
With 10 days to the election, to the young people of Liberia, to anybody who supported me in Liberia for my time that I was when I decided I wanted to be a president, I'm asking you to vote for Joseph Boyka. To the young generation, Joseph Boyka would be a better person to transfer, pass the torch to our generation. Joseph Boyka is uniquely in a position to help transition our country to a better future than George Weah, Taiwan Gonglo, Arizona Cummings, Dr. Manuba, or anybody else that's in the race right now. So I'm asking you, to the young people, get out there and vote. Don't let no obstacles stand in the way. If it's rainy, stay in the rain and vote. If sun is too hot, stay in the sun and vote. I will be right there with you two voting also. So don't give up. Don't fall for the gimmicks, giving you money, giving you a bag of rice, chicken soup, oil and stuff for you to vote for them. Don't do it. George Weah is a failed president. George Weah administration is a failed state. I said this many years ago. I stand by what I wrote and I stand by what I said. If he's given 6 more years, our country will be in destitute. So I'm asking you guys to get out there and vote. Vote.
Okay. All right. Thank you. George Weah is not here to respond to calling him a failed state. You all are Liberians. You should use your own senses, your own experience, and go and cast a vote. Mr. Cannibal, your closing comment.
Well, thank you, Mr. Jensen, for the show. The show is great. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching the show, thank you for listening to us. Mr. Wodokoli, I knew your father very well. So it's a good pleasure for me to be on the same platform with you this morning and I want to thank you for your contribution to Liberia and what you're doing for our country as a younger generation to Liberia. But the thing that is, Brother Jensen, one of the things I want to tell you is, honor George Weah Liberia. Liberia have failed miserably. Those of Liberia is one of the oldest African country. If you've been to Liberia lately and you think the way I think, the educational, medical infrastructure and all of the infrastructure that were built in Liberia is broken down. Many years, Mr. Weah and other people have been in leadership in the country. He was in the Senate of Monserrate County. There is nothing good going on over there.
George Weah and not Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and
arbitrary murder of our citizens and the criminality of our country is what George Weah and his cronies have perpetuated over the past almost 6 years in our country, and Liberia is not going anywhere under George Weah. So I urge my fellow Liberian, those of you who are listening to my voice, to try to go to the poll and vote your conscience. Vote your conscience. Do not, like my brother Wodokoli strictly said, do not take bribe from people, because your life depends on your vote. Go out there, cast your vote for those who you think going to move Liberia to the next place for generation unborn. So, brother Jensen, it's a pleasure for me to be with you this morning, and I thank those who listen to us.
Okay, somebody wanted to know your full name.
My name is Bro. The first name is a gear name. Bro, it's spelled GBLOR. My middle name is Mother, MADEH. The last name is Kanibo. Okay. Kanibo. I'm my father. Bro, Mother Kanibo. That's my name. My name used to be James Smith when I was born, but I feel like that was wrong. So when I was in Haywood Mission School, in high school, I changed my name those days to my grandfather's name. That's my grandfather's full name there. The Blood is a name that was given to me from Nima County by a man who worked for my father.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Blood M. Cannibal.
So that's my name. Right. My name is Blood Mother Cannibal.
Okay, so we also have Magistu Wodokoli. He has been a contributor on this show also. But let's take a few of our comments, and then maybe if there's anything, I should have done this before you guys, your question comment. But let's see, maybe just few. Let's see, take the most essential one. We have Mitch Hodges. He said he's watching. We have Kobe Mitch. He's also watching. Good David. Good David, not to mention. Focus on Liberia. What is the topic on a discussion where we said that earlier? And Edward Anderson said Liberia will always exist. Fake politicians will go and come. Okay, that was for, I think we're responding to Joseph Barker's statement. Edward also said, guys, please give each other time to speak. Intellectualism involves listening and speaking. Okay, get you. That is over with. Sure, I surely aligned with Brother Eddie that the best process is the NEC presiding officers and then the Supreme Court. Okay, I think he's just saying that we all agree with the NEC and the Supreme Court, just in case something goes wrong. Okay, and have Benjamin say you guys in the studio are paid media workers. George Weah cannot win these elections. Why are you guys preempting that we'll win? I mean, you want to say preempting that George Weah will win this election? Well, my brother, everybody can win this elections, right? We don't have people still going to cast their vote, a secret ballot. So you can sit here and tell me, say somebody will win or this person will not win. So the secret ballot, when the ballot is cast, we would know who would be the winner of the election. It could be George Weah, it could be Joseph Barker, it could be Tewan Gonglo, it could be Alexander Cummings, it could be any of those persons who are in the race. So we cannot sit here and say, well, somebody will win. We can see a crowd and say, well, this crowd is a winning crowd. No, it's very foolhardy for anyone to think that way. Okay, the last comment we have here, violence has since engulfed Liberia. Since this government came to power, everywhere, many Liberians knows that with all these ugly things that are going on, will suggest that we cannot win this election except we are rigs it. Well, Benjamin, that's the view, right? But this is election. And then when we have in open discussions, we have an open mind. You can say anybody can win this election. Joey could win the election. Joseph Boakai could win. Alexander Cummings could win. And what? Teron Gonglo could win. Or what? The other people that started, we got 20 candidates in the race. Any of them could win this election. Because why? Votes. The votes of the people. All of them will decide. If 1.2 million persons decide to vote for Joseph Boakai, the show ends. That means Joseph Boakai will be president. But why if the other way around? 1.2 million persons decided tomorrow that they're going to vote for George Weah. Like people will always say, okay, we'll give him a second chance, right? So whatever happens, we cannot sit here and say somebody will lose election, somebody will win election until, we can all surmise and say, well, with all this not going, Joe Weah got a helicopter in Liberia and the fly to Southeast. But that's another topic for another day. Okay, but guys, I want to say thank you so much for those of you who are contributing, making your comment. We appreciate you, and keep sharing the video, keep making a comment. We will come back and respond to some of those comments. I just want to say thank you so much again, and we'll say it was a pleasant time to have you guys on the show. Until next time, maybe Patient will organize our debate. Saying Joey, I don't want to debate. Maybe you myself will debate, right? So we'll organize that and see how we can engage our public on just to carry the exercise on, encouraging people to vote for the right person.
We can just make it about talk about all the candidates and not just Simon Gonglo and Joseph Boakai.
I agree. And maybe you can even suggest that too. I will tell Patient about that, and maybe she can. And maybe anybody listening said they want to join us, they can join us, right? Or you want to just be between you and myself.
I mean,
because I will defeat you on that. I will defeat you on that day, right?
You think so?
Okay. It was a nice time having all of you guys on, and
all right.
So